Hi all, welcome to the video lecture series on fluid mechanics and fluid machines. We are here for unit number 3, boundary layer theory, dimensional analysis and similarity. In this unit, we are going to cover the lecture number 5, that is Buckingham's pi theorem. Myself, Dhananjay, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, Vijnan's Institute of Information Technology. Yes, here these are the lectures which comes under unit number 3. We are in lecture number 5, Buckingham's pi theorem and its problems. Here, the different the contents which we are going to cover in this lecture are statement of Buckingham's pi theorem and Buckingham's pi theorem, selection of repeating variables, problems on Buckingham's pi theorem, limitations of dimensional analysis, assignment questions, and there is a summary. Here we are in second method in dimensional analysis, that is Buckingham's pi theorem. It is improved method of Rayleigh's method, as the Rayleigh's method is very difficult if more number of variables are involved in particular phenomenon. Yes, it is denoted by Greek letter pi, so that it is named as or called as Buckingham's pi theorem. The main advantage of this particular method, Buckingham's pi theorem, over Rayleigh's method, the advantages are it let us know in advance of the analysis as to how many dimensionless groups are to be expected. So we can know how many dimensionless numbers or dimensionless values are important to this particular analysis. We can come to know before only. Buckingham's pi theorem states as follows. Yes, if there are n variables, suppose f is equal to ma, in that particular equation there are 3 variables. So here n is equal to 3. If there are n variables which dependent and independent variables, yes, including dependent and independent variables in a dimensionally homogeneous equation, and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions. What are m fundamental dimensions? Length, mass, time. These 3 are the fundamental dimensions. So that here m is equal to 3. In such case, the variables are arranged in n minus m dimensionless terms. Okay, if there are n variables and there are m fundamental dimensions, so that we can arrange n minus m dimensionless parameters, n minus m dimensionless terms. These dimensionless terms are called pi terms. Buckingham's pi theorem. If there are n variables which are independent and dependent in a physical phenomenon, contains m fundamental dimensions, so that we can arrange n minus m pi terms. Okay, let x1, x2, x3 to xn are the variables involved in a particular phenomenon or a particular physical problem. X1 be the dependent variable, x1 be the dependent variable, and x2, x3 to xn are independent variables. Here x1 is dependent variable, the remaining all variables are independent variables which depends on x1. Then x1 is a fundamental dimension, of x2, x3 to xn, and the mathematically it is expressed as x1 is equal to, x1 is a function of the remaining variables. f of x2 x3 to xn. It can also be written as f of x1 x2 x3 to xn. What is x1 here? Dependent variable. The remaining all are independent variables, which is equal to 0. The equation above, what is that equation? f1 function of x1 x2 x3 to xn, which is equal to 0. That equation is dimensionally homogeneous equation, contains variables. If there are m fundamental dimensions, then according to Buckingham's pi theorem, it can be written in terms of number of dimensionless groups or pi terms. Okay, hence the equation will become f1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 to pi n minus m is equal to 0. Here these all are pi terms, dimensionless numbers. Each pi term is dimensionless and independent of system of units. Division or multiplication by constant does not change the character of the pi term. Each pi term contains m plus 1 variables. Okay, here there are some pi terms, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 to pi n minus 1. Those all are pi terms. Okay, each pi term contains m plus 1 variables. Okay, so what here m is 3 plus 1 means there are 4 variables in each pi term, where m is number of fundamental dimensions, also called repeating variables. Let in the above expression x2, x3, x4 are the repeating variables. If the fundamental dimension mlt is equal to 3, so that the pi terms are written as m plus 1, 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4, so that pi 1 is equal to, okay, in each pi term there is 4 variables because m plus 1 is 4. In pi 2 also there are 4 variables. Pi 3 also 4 variables. Okay. So it is expressed in such a way that, so pi 1, pi 2 to, if the number of variable increase means the number of pi term also will increase. 2 pi n minus m is equal to x2 power a n minus m, x3 power b n minus m, x4 power c n minus m to xn. Each equation is solved by principle of dimensional homogeneity on both sides. Then the values of a1, b2, c3 are obtained. These values are substituted in the above equation, main equation, so that the values of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi n minus 1 are obtained. These values of pi's are substituted in equation f1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 to pi n minus 1, which is equal to 0. The final equation for the phenomenon is obtained by expressing any one of the pi term as a function of other, as pi 1 is equal to phi. Here phi is constant, pi 2, pi 3 to pi n minus 1, pi 2 is equal to phi 2, pi 1, pi 3, pi n minus m. There are number of repeating variables, but for a particular pi term, how to choose, how to select a particular repeating variable? Number of repeating variables are equal to number of fundamental dimensions of a particular problem. Okay, so there is a way, there is a method to identify those repeating variables. How to identify those variables? Let us see. As far as possible, the dependent variable should not be selected as repeating variables. The dependent variable, there is a dependent variable, there is an independent variable, but dependent variable should not be selected as a repeating variables. In a pi term, there are repeating variables. In that particular repeating variable, we cannot select a dependent variable. Okay. Second point, the repeating variable selected should not form a dimensionless group. Yes, Definitely, the repeating variable should not form a dimensionless group. Point number 3, the repeating variables together must have same number of fundamental dimensions. Together must have same fundamental dimension. Point 4, never pick two parameters with the same dimensions. We cannot pick the dimension, we cannot pick a parameter with the same dimensions. Point number 5, the repeating variable should be chosen in such a way that one variable contains geometric property, other variable contain flow property, and third variable contain fluid property. What are those geometric property, flow property, fluid property? Here are the examples. Length, diameter, height are the geometric property. Velocity, acceleration are flow property. Dynamic viscosity, density, and specific weight are fluid properties. Here are the steps in Buckingham's pi theorem. What are those steps? In step 1, we need to identify number of variables involved in the particular phenomena. Step 2, write down the dimensions of particular variables involved in that particular phenomenon. Step 3, establish the number of independent dimensions and non-dimensional groups. Non-dimensional groups means pi terms. Number of relevant variables is equal to n is equal to 6. Number of independent dimensions m is equal to 3. Number of non-dimensional groups pi terms n minus m is equal to 3. So that we can form 3 dimensionless groups, 3 pi terms, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. In step 4, choose m is equal to 3 and form dimensionally independent scaling variables. Next, step 5, create the pi terms by non-dimensionalizing the remaining variables. Okay, here we can notice that in most of the fluid mechanics problem, the choice of repeating variables may be diameter, velocity, density, length, velocity, density, all these. Here there is an example for Buckingham's pi theorem. So what is that example? There is a resistance force R experienced by partially submerged body, depends upon the velocity v, length of the body L, viscosity of the fluid mu, and density of the particular fluid is rho, gravitational acceleration is z. Okay, we need to obtain an expression particular resistance. Yes, yes, here there is a resistance R. We need to obtain expression to that particular R resistance. Resistance is nothing but a force here in this particular fluid problem. Okay, so this resistance is depending upon so many variables. What are those? It depends on velocity v, length of the body L, viscosity mu, density rho, and gravitational acceleration g. Okay, so that combinedly we need to form an expression by using Buckingham's pi theorem. Yes, here it is. Step number 1, the resistance R is a function of, because R is a dependent variable and these are the independent variables. R depends on these variables, so that R is a function of the remaining variables. Okay, mathematically it can be written as R is equal to f of v L mu rho g, so that f1 is equal to R is dependent variable, these are all independent variable, is equal to 0. So total number of variables involved here it is 6, including independent and dependent variable. M is obtained by writing dimensions of each variable. So here we are writing dimensions of each and every variable R, V, L, mu, rho, g. So these are the dimensions. Okay, so here we can observe that 3, M is equal to 3, because M also there, L also there, T also there, which involved by 3 variables. Fundamental dimensions in the problem are MLT, so that M is equal to 3. Number of dimensionless pi terms n minus m, n is equal to 6, m is 3, so that there are 3 pi terms here forming for the particular problem. Thus 3 pi terms, say pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 are formed. Then the equation for the particular fluid problem is F1 is equal to pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, which is equal to 0. When comes to step 2, each pi term contains m plus 1 variables. Yes, already we know that each pi term contains m plus 1 variable. Here m is 3, so that 3 plus 1, 4 variables will come in each and every pi term. Out of 6 variables, 3 variables are to be selected. Yes, because one is dependent variable, remaining are independent variables. Okay, we need to identify the repeating variable from the independent variables. Okay, so that out of 6 variables, 3 variables are to be selected as repeating variables. Okay, R is a dependent variable, so that we cannot select R as repeating variable. Okay, out of 5, because we removed R because it is dependent variable. Okay, out of 5 remaining variables, 1 variable should have geometric property, second one have flow property, third one have fluid property. These requirements are fulfilled by selecting L geometric property, V flow property, rho fluid property as repeating variables. The repeating variables themselves should not form dimensionless numbers. It is one of the points to remember when selecting a repeating variable. Should not have themselves fundamental dimensions equal to m, that is 3 here. Dimensions of L, V, rho are L, LT inverse, M, L power minus 3. And hence the 3 fundamental dimensions exist in L, V, rho, and the problem is going to be continued with these 3 repeating variables. So here we wrote that pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 terms. Okay, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 terms. So here these 3 are the repeating variables. L, V, rho. In second pi term also, L, V, rho is repeating. In third pi term also, L, V, rho is repeating. Okay, we are formed with these 3 pi terms. So here in first pi term there is R, there is mu, and there is G. The remaining variables. Each pi term is solved by principle of dimensional homogeneity. So pi term is nothing but a dimensionless parameter, so that we can write the dimension this for particular pi term is m power 0, L power 0, T power 0. We need to equate this with the dimensions of these all variables. When comes to first pi term, pi 1 term, okay, pi 1 is equal to L power A1, V power B1, rho power C1, and to R. So m power 0, L power 0, T power 0, which is equal to, okay. So here length L, L power A1, here V velocity L, T inverse, here rho L, M, ML power minus 3, here it is R, ML, T power minus 2. Okay, so for better understanding, I wrote all the fundamental dimensions of these variables here. Okay, we need to substitute all those variables in this particular pi term. Okay, so equating the exponents of MLT respectively, we can get the C1, B1, and A1. C1 is equal to minus 1, B1 is equal to minus 2, and A1 is equal to minus 2. So we need to substitute all these powers A1, B1, and C1 in this pi 1 term, so that we can get pi 1 is equal to L power minus 2, V power minus 2, rho power minus 1 and r. Okay. Now here it is the pi 1 term. We derived an expression for the particular pi 1 term. Pi 1 is equal to r divided by L square V square rho. So we got a expression, one part of the particular final expression. Now here there is a pi 2 term. We need to apply dimensional homogeneity to this particular pi term. We need to write fundamental dimensions or from fundamental dimensions for left side expression and for the right side expression also. So equating the exponents MLT so that we can come to know that C2 is equal to minus 1, B2 is equal to minus 1, A2 is equal to minus 1. We need to substitute all these arbitrary power values into this equation so that L power A is equal to minus 1. So that L power minus 1, V power minus 1, rho power minus 1 into mu. So we can come to know that the expression for pi 2. Pi 2 is equal to mu divided by LV rho. So there is an expression for pi 2. And now we need to find the pi term, pi 3 term. Okay. In the same way, by applying dimensional homogeneity, so C3 is 0, B3 is minus 2, A3 is 1. So we need to substitute all these arbitrary power values in pi 3 term so that we can get to know that pi 3 is equal to L G by V square. We need to substitute all these pi terms, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. We got pi 1 term expression, pi 2 expression and pi 3 term expression. We need to substitute all those expressions in main equation. The main equation is F1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 which is equal to 0. So here the expression for pi 1, here it is expression for pi 2, here it is expression for pi 3. So that we need R, expression for R. So that we took phi as constant. So R divided by L square V square by rho is equal to phi into mu by IV rho Lg by V square. So here it is final expression. R is equal to L square V square rho phi mu by LV rho comma Lg by V square. So here are the limitations of dimensional analysis. What are the limitations? There are certain limitations for the dimensional analysis to apply particular fluid flow problem. So those are, dimensionless analysis does not give any clue, in selection of variables. Yes, it doesn't. We need to draw a repeating variable or a selection of variable from a particular method, but it does not give any clue in selection of variables. Variables are wrongly taken, then the resulting functional relationship may be wrong. So we need to properly choose a particular variables involved in that particular fluid flow problem. If we took wrong variable, then the final expression or relation between the variables may also be go wrong. Provides the information about the grouping of variables. Yes, in order to decide whether selected variable are relevant or irrelevant, experiments have to be performed. So in order to decide the variable, we need to perform an experiment so that we can get what are the variables involved in this particular fluid flow problem. When it comes to point number 2, the complete information is not provided by dimensional analysis. It only indicates that there is some relation between the parameters. It indicates the relation between parameters. It will not give us complete information. It does not give the values of coefficients. Values of coefficients it will not give in the functional relationship. The values of coefficients, and hence the nature of the functions can be obtained only from the experiments. The nature of the functions can be obtained from the experiments or from a mathematical analysis. Here are the assignment questions. State the Buckingham's pi theorem. Why this theorem is considered superior over Rayleigh's method for dimensional analysis. Second question, what do you mean by repeating variable? How are the repeating variables selected for dimensional analysis? Next, what are the limitations of dimensional analysis? So here few assignment problems mentioned to check the understanding level of the content. You can give a try to solve these problems which is related to Buckingham's pi theorem. So there is a problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. And here are the highlights or summary of the particular topic. So one is Buckingham's pi theorem, second one is the drawback of dimensional analysis. So here in Buckingham pi theorem, there are n variables involved, dependent and independent variables, and there are m variables in m fundamental dimensions involved, so that we need to form a n minus m pi terms, dimensionless group. From that pi terms, we need to apply dimensional homogeneity so that we can get each pi term expression. So finally, we can come to know the final expression of the particular fluid flow problem or a particular fluid phenomenon. So these are the drawbacks of the dimensional analysis, as it does not give any clue or it does not provide any much relevant information. And we need to know the variables by conducting the experiment or mathematical analysis. Thank you. Here it is end of the topic on Buckingham's pi theorem. So we can see in the next lecture, that is model analysis and types of similarities. Thank you.